Hello, I am Jarrett with the Christina Phipps Foundation, and today we are going to do a stability practice. Some things that you might want to have with you. I have a couple of blocks here with me. You might want to have a blanket, and as you can see, I'm sitting up here on a bolster, or you can use like a couch pillow. For your blocks, you could use books. Just make sure they're the same height and steady. So we're going to begin in a comfortable seat down here, but we're going to be engaging our core because that is something we're going to be doing throughout this practice, part of our stability practice. So while you just breathe naturally, you can close your eyes or find a focus. You can just listen to me as I talk to you about 3 bandhas in our core area, basically, that we're going to be concentrating on as we remember to pull in and tighten and engage that core. And the first one is in your pelvic floor. So I want you to breathe in, and as you breathe in, I want you to feel that pelvic floor lift, like a string pulling towards your heart. And then as you breathe out, feel that bandha behind your belly button that goes to feel your belly button pull towards your spine. As you breathe in and out, I want you to feel that. That's engagement of that core. And that's going to also help your breath flow more freely. The other one I want to mention, just because we often find that we are moving our neck around and more than we need to be, is the one in the back of your throat. So here again, I want you to breathe and feel the back of your throat as it pulls down towards your heart. So as you breathe in and at the same time that pelvic floor one is pulling up, you can feel all of that engage and also feel that flow of breath more easily. So for now, let's just breathe naturally in our comfortable seat with our core engaged. I want you to be aware of your breath. I want you to hear it maybe, or feel it going in through your nostrils or into your throat or into your lungs, just like you were feeling it when you were feeling the core engage. Maybe feel it moving out, feeling that belly button pull towards the spine. Becoming aware of that breath. Now we're going to take our chin and we're going to turn it just slightly. We're going to take our eyes over to the side and just find something. Do not crank your neck though. Just find something over here to your right to focus on. Again, you can keep your eyes in a soft focus, or you can close them, but keep your head turning this way. And just breathe naturally again. Now we're going to gently bring our face forward. Take a breath, and then we're going to turn it to the left. And again, don't crank, just find something over here to put your soft focus on. Let's continue to breathe, concentrating on some sense of your breath. Okay, let's bring our chin forward again, facing forward. Now we're going to take your left hand and put it on your right knee, and just there you start a twist, and that could be good enough. But let's also turn and maybe find that same focus, or maybe a little bit farther. But again, let's not crank. We're just waking up the spine here. You can put your hand behind here. You do not have to. And breathe in to straighten that spine. And maybe look a little farther over to your right as you breathe out. Breathe in again to straighten. And breathe out to maybe twist a little bit or to stay where you are. Let's bring again our face forward first, and then bring our hands and back to where they were. And let's switch. Let's bring our right hand over to our left knee, and let's take our face over here to look at that soft focus again, and breathe in to straighten our spine. And you can turn a little bit more if you'd like. Breathe in again to straighten your spine, and breathe out as you maybe increase that twist, but do not do it too much. And again, let's bring our face forward, and then our hands. Good. I'm going to move my bolster out of the way for now. You can stay here seated if you're not comfortable on your hands and knees for extended period of time. We're going to be doing a couple things on our hands and knees. Here we're going to start with our cat-cow. So I want you to either stay seated, and there you can just do the same thing we're going to be doing down here. Or you can come here to your hands and knees. You're going to have your wrists under your shoulders and your knees under your hips. You're going to make sure again that you're engaging that core, so you have that nice neutral spine. And I want to just begin by tilting our pelvis forward and back. Just that, just tilting your pelvis forward and back. And you can do this in your seated position. Anywhere you are, make sure you are engaging that core. You're using those bandhas that we discussed earlier. Okay, if you're feeling comfortable with this, you can take this farther, where as you tilt your pelvis up, you're going to start to round your back and engage that upper spine more, and then tilt your head down. And then as you tilt your pelvis forward, you can start to arch your back towards the floor and bring your head up a little bit. And then you can do this at your pace, whatever feels best for you today. It's always good to start with the pelvis. Okay, let's do one more. And then I will meet you in a neutral spine. Now, if you were still seated, I'm going to ask you to come here to your hands and knees. If your wrists are bothering you, you can, if you have multiple blocks, you can use those. Or you can bring, like I said, a couch pillow or a bolster, and you could be like this for this. So I'm going to start demonstrating this with my arms like this. We're going to start by taking your right, and remember to engage those bandhas. I was just letting them hang out there for a second. We're going to take our right foot back, keeping your toe on the floor. I need to move forward a little bit, and you might too. Keeping your toe on the floor, and then we're just going to rock back and forth. And then, if you're comfortable with that, we're going to stop and be still for a second. And we can lift up our left arm. And if that's comfortable, you can also lift up your back leg. And then if you'd like, you could start some crunches. I'm going to demonstrate this without the bolster for a second on my hands and knees. So you can be doing crunches like this, bringing your knee and elbow into each other. If you want, you can take your knee out to the side and your elbow out to the side. You can just stay here and kind of crunch in like this if you want. Or if you wanted to stay down here, you could just crunch in like this as well. Or you can just stay here or here. Whatever is comfortable for you. All right, let's come back to our hands and knees. And now we're going to bring our right leg forward into a low lunge. You're going to keep your knee on the ground. And here's where the blocks can become handy, because you might have shorter arms or obstacles in the way. And so blocks on these different levels can be useful to you. But you don't want to crunch into this. You don't want to be like, ugh. You want to be light on your fingertips right here. So you're not using your wrists. You're just light here on your fingertips, but you're using this almost for balance. Now, if you can, let's move up here, straightening our back, lifting your heart forward. You can add some different arms to this. You can bring into cactus arms. You can lift your arms high in the air. We can do some, you can stay here and you can do some dynamic movement, kind of rocking back and forth, or you could be in your cactus arms, opening up and closing. This is good for the shoulders. Or you could try doing something where you're going up. There's many options. You find what feels right for you. And then we're going to come into stillness for one breath. Okay, then we'll come back down to our fingertips, and then we're going to straighten this leg by pulling this hip back. So we'll straighten this leg out and bring our nose towards our toes. Not close to them, but we're lifting our toes up. Breathe in, and then as you breathe out, take your head down, your chin towards your chest. Take a breath, and then start rolling your foot forward, back to that low lunge for just another breath. Then we will come back down to our hands and knees. Remember, you can be on that bolster like this if you'd like. You can bring that back. And now we're going to take our left leg and move it back and do that same movement that we did before. Rocking back and forth, making sure you have those bandhas tight, pulled in, keeping that core engaged. And then come to stillness, and if you're ready, you can lift your right arm. And if you'd like to go another step, you can lift your back leg. And you can stay right here, or you can start doing those crunches. And remember, you can bring your knee out like this and your elbow out. You can have it down and just crunch, or crunch, whatever that you find is good for you. All right, let's bring our knee back for a second, and then let's pull it forward here into our lunge, our low lunge on this side. And again, get light on your fingertips. Just feel that out for a second. And then when you're ready, sit up to lift your chest. Bring your heart forward. And again, you can use whatever arms feel good for you. I really love the cactus arms because I can really feel my chest opening, especially as I pull my shoulder blades together. All right, we're going to bring our fingertips back down. And then again, this time we're going to start bringing this hip back as we straighten the knee a little bit, not all the way. Keep a micro bend. And bringing your toes towards your nose. Again, staying light on those fingertips. Breathe in. And then as you breathe out, bow forward. Let's roll that knee forward. The foot forward. Take another breath in our low lunge. And then we'll come back here to our hands and knees. Now we're going to take our foot back, and you can put your knee down and then take the other foot back and put your knee down and be in plank here. You can be in plank here. You can be in plank here. Or you can be in plank here. But once you find your plank, remember to make sure your core is engaged. The pelvic floor, that bandha behind your belly button, the one in the back of your throat, and let's take 3 breaths. One more. And let's start lifting our hips towards the ceiling to go towards downward dog. And again, you can be like this, and you can stay like this in your downward dog if you'd like. Get that out of the way so you can see. Now you can see that my feet are not coming all the way, my heels are not coming all the way to the floor. That is fine. But try to take them towards the floor. Your hands are spread wide, and your elbows are kind of facing forward, but also you might need to have a micro bend in them, especially if you have a tendency to hyperflex. Let's take a breath here. If you want, you can find some good movement here, taking your dog for a walk, pedaling it out, lifting one heel and then the other. You can add some nice hip movements in this too, whatever your body feels like it needs today. And then let's come to one breath in stillness. And then let's take baby steps towards the front of our mat. We're going to come either hip width apart, or you can have your feet together if you like. And we're just going to bend your knees generously, or you can straighten them out mostly. And we're going to be here in a forward fold. Here you can have your hands at the back of your legs. You can have them clasping your elbows. You can walk around if you like with your hands. Again, just like you did in your downward dog, find what feels best for your body at this moment. What does it want? Okay, if you're clasping your arms or have them clasped anywhere, let's let them go. And we're going to bend our knees and start to roll up our spine slowly. One vertebra at a time. When you get near the top, I want you to lift your shoulders towards your ears. And then as you get to the top, roll them back. And then just let them drop in place. Breathe in and breathe out. You are now here in your mountain pose. So I want you to feel your feet. I want you to feel all four corners of your feet. So why this is important is because you don't want to lean one way or another. That could cause injury. So you really want to make sure that you're balancing on your feet. One way to do that is to lift up your toes, kind of spread them out, then putting them back down. You can feel that. Then make sure you're also on your heels. So kind of maybe rock if you want. If that's uncomfortable for you or it feels unbalanced, don't do that. But try to make sure you can feel your full foot solidly on the ground. And then also feel engagement, not just in your core, which we absolutely want to feel, but here in your thighs. And then let's just stand here. You can feel the ground supporting you. You know that you're grounded there, but like a mountain, you're also rising towards the sun. The clouds are around you, whatever visual you want. Think of what a mountain means to you. Strong, maybe stable, maybe beautiful. Though whatever it is, that's what you are. That wonderful visual, that is you. Grounded and rising at the same time. Just take one more breath here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our right leg and we are going to step it back. You could go back here. You can see I've just got about a foot behind, and you can see I'm on my line right here. You could have you don't want to be toe to toe, but so you canter foot out of it. And so you could be where your heels are aligned. I've got one little line here. Perhaps you can see that, I'm not sure. And do a little micro bend here. That you are now in warrior one. Or you can go back a little bit farther. For me, it's a little bit more comfortable to go back a little bit farther, but I also like to have my feet a little bit wider than this line. That gives me, again, that stable foundation that I want. And then you're going to bend that front knee. You're going to bend that front knee and put your hands on your hips. Make sure your shoulders are facing forward. Take a breath. And then again, just like you did with the low lunge, you can do any of those arms. You can bring it out like this. Again, I love the cactus arms because it really helps me feel my chest going forward. You can come up here. Try not to crank your neck like I just did. Remember that bandha. And then once you feel that you're steady, let's kind of, if you want to, you can stay in stillness, or you can start adding, again, you could do this right here. You could just kind of go up and down a little bit right here, or you could do it here. Or again, here. Just like you did in that low lunge, you can find what feels good to you. And then we're going to come into stillness for a breath. And bring your hands back to your hips and step your foot forward. We're going to move to our left leg. Again, you can just come back here like this. Just find where you feel most stable. Again, for me, it's best to back here, but you're going to find what works best for you. And it's going to be what works different from me, and it's going to be what worked different for you yesterday. Or maybe it could be. So remember to bend this front knee, but keep it, make sure you're not going over your ankle. Your knee is not going over your ankle. Again, I have my back foot canted a little bit. I have my hands on my hips, my chest is rising forward, rising up. Bring into any arms you want. And then if you want, you can add some movement. And then let's come into stillness in the arm of your choice. And take a breath. All right, let's bring our hands back to our waist and step forward. Let's come back and take 3 breaths in our mountains. So again, feeling your feet on the ground, your quads lifting up, your core is engaged. You can feel your head lifting towards the sun. And just breathe. One more breath. So we felt strong and warrior. I'm going to turn on my mat. You can stay where you are. I'm just turning so you can see me better. And I'm going to grab my tools here. So we've been steady and stable and strong like a mountain, and now we're going to be steady and strong and stable like a tree. But remember, trees can blow in the wind, so we might be a little wobbly, but that's okay. Remember, we're just going to be practicing with that stability. So we're going to start with putting our weight on our left foot, shifting our weight to our left leg, and that means you're going to take the weight off of your right leg. You're not falling in it over this, you're lifting yourself up, but staying with that weight in that leg, and you have your light in this foot, in your right foot. And you can just stay here and do this, or you could lift your leg up and stay here for a minute, or if you're down here, once you feel ready, you can open that hip up. The tree is not just a balance pose, it's a hip opener. It is absolutely about that stability. So you can open it up. You can use this little a block, or like I said, a book or something, and be up here like this. You can bring your leg over, so you could have gone over here like this, and then you can be like this. I'm going to use my little kickstand here because I'm staying here on camera with you and try to tell you things. And so I don't want to be as wobbly as I normally would let myself be. So you can have your hands here. You could have your hands here. You can reach your tree out if you want. You can reach your tree up. Think about this left leg and the roots going down or out, whatever kind of tree you want to be. And let's stay here for a couple more breaths. I like my tree to be growing wide and happy. All right, so you can Now bring your hands back to your hips and turn your leg this way, or you can, of course, lift it up and bring it forward. Now, you're back into with your feet together, and you're going to shift the weight now to your right leg and become light on this one. Again, you can just stay here and open like this, or you can have lifted this leg up and open it up like this. You can bring it here, not on your knee. You can bring it up higher. I cannot do that, so I can't demonstrate it for you, but if you can, you're welcome to do that. I'm gonna stay again on my kickstand here. Remember to be engaging that core. This is about stability, about balance. And I like to think of my roots as, again, you can be a cactus. I like to think of my roots, though, more like an aspen, growing out and talking to each other in that community. We could be blowing in the wind, whatever feels good to you. Take one more breath. And then bring your leg forward in the way that's best for you. Gently set it down. You can stay here with your feet together or put them slightly apart again to come into mountain again. Be that strong, steady mountain. I'm going to move these out of the way because we're going to be stepping wide for our next move. So I don't know how to feel more beautiful or more stable than to being a temple or a goddess. So we're going to step our feet out wide as your mat, if not a little bit wider, and you're going to be turning your toes out to about 45-degree angle. So you can be, like I said, you could be right here like this, or you can come wider if you'd like. And then you're going to bend your knees, again, keeping those knees over your ankles, okay? You could just be right here, and that is beautiful. Engage that core. Mine, I was just kind of letting it hang out there. You can come down here. You could even come down here if you want. You can bring your hands here. I'm going to come back up a little bit. You can bring your hands here. This is typically the goddess pose, but you can be where you want to be. Again, you can do some of that dynamic movement with the arm movements we've been doing. My knee won't let me do that for very long without yelling at me, so I'm going to come here to stillness for a second. Another thing you can do is lift a heel, be on your toe, put it back down, lift the other one, put it back down, lift, lift, lift them both. Don't you feel strong and steady? And again, you can always still just be right here or right here. Let's take one more breath. Let's straighten out our legs first. Let's turn them forward. Turn your toes forward and reach out your arms to a starfish. Did you ever collect starfish on the beach? You're so beautiful that somebody wants to collect you too. All right, we're now going to go to the ground. You're going to get there the way that feels best to you. We're going to end up sitting on our behind with our legs in front of us. I'm going to go nice and slow and use my hands and everything because of my knee. Okay. Once you're here, make sure your core is engaged, and then let's bend our knees to where we're right here. Have your hands behind your knees on the inside of your thighs. And here we're going to lift one leg and set it down. Lift the other leg and set it down. Again, lift the leg, set it down. Lift the leg, set it down. Then, this time if you want to lift the leg and leave it lifted, as you lift this leg, you can do that. Or you can continue just to be going back and forth. Here, you can stay here, or kind of going down and up, or you can release a hand and then release another hand. Breathe, engage that core. And another step you could take is to lift up a leg and lift another leg. You can bring them in and then leg them out. You can kind of come down like this. I'm just going to stay here for a second. We're going to take 3 breaths. Okay, let's grab them again. Let's set them down. Sit up again. Now let's put out our legs. And then we're going to roll back slowly. As slow as you can, at least. Again, feeling that one vertebra at a time. And eventually gently laying your head down on the ground too. Breathe, that feels good, huh? We're now going to pull one knee into your chest and the other knee into your chest. And you can put your arms like this. It's easier for me because of my knee to keep mine right here. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm also going to just roll here for a minute because it just feels good on my back. Your back is absolutely part of your core. It's nice to give it a little love. And you can stay here, or I'm going to go into a happy baby, and if you'd like to join me, you're welcome to join me. To do that, let's lift up a foot, and then lift up the other foot while your knees are still bent, and you can stay right here like this, or you can go to grab your calf, or your ankle, your inner foot, or your outer foot. And then you can stay like this. You can always stay with your knees bent too. You can be like this, or you can start playing. Either way, any of these can make you a happy baby. I know it feels really good on my back. When you're ready, you can lower your legs where your knees are still bent, but your feet are on the ground. And then I want you to start just waving them back and forth, like a windshield wiper or like wheat in the field. And then kind of slide your feet forward to where they are going to be stretched fully out. And when you get there, we're going to start relaxing. We're in our relaxation pose or Shavasana. I'm going to take you through some of your body parts so you can concentrate on relaxing those. We're going to start with our feet. I want you to start by just wiggling your toes and then just relaxing your toes and your foot, feeling it melt into the ground or just feel supported by the ground as you relax it fully. Same thing with your calves. Just feel them have that solid foundation where they can let go. The backs of your knees. your thighs, that pelvic floor. It's been engaged throughout this practice. Just let it go, let it relax, let it open. Your core, just let it hang all out there. It's supported by this ground. Your upper back, your shoulders. They carry a lot of weight throughout your day. Let them relax right now. Melt towards the ground. Your arms feeling supported by your mat, by the ground. Your fingers, your hands. Relax those. Come up to your neck, your throat. Relax it. Your jaw, another thing we clench. I find it, for me, something that helps me make sure I'm relaxing it is to open and close it. I can really feel that I'm kind of still clenching it a little bit. Let it go. Whether your eyes are closed or just in a soft position, your eyes might not be fully relaxed. Try to relax them as well. The back of your head is just supported and grounded. Let it melt into the mat. Okay, you can start moving your toes. Try to bring you back a little bit to where we are, touching your fingertips one at a time. Rubbing across them. When you're ready, bend your knees and roll to your side and kind of come to a fetal position. And when you're ready, we're going to sit up into a comfortable seat. I'm going to put my leg out because my knee hurts a little bit. I want you to bring your hands to your stomach, to your belly. And I want you to give gratitude for that core, for supporting you and stabilizing you. And I want to do the same thing with our heart. So bring your hands to your heart space. Give gratitude to it for that support and stability you feel. And let's bring our hands together and bring them up to our forehead. May your thoughts be kind to those around you and to yourself. To your lips, may your words be kind to those around you and to yourself. And to your heart, may you love yourself and those around you. Thank you for joining me today.